Can the X-Men brand and the X-Men joining the MCU and getting their first film after Secret Wars out the door save Marvel Studios and the MCU? The answer is no, and it's also yes. It's a lot more complex than that, so let's get to it. You all know how nostalgia works. Nostalgia can make you blind to facts. Just this year, just recently, was the 25-year anniversary of X-Men. I remember when that film came out. I remember so many of my friends excited for it. We could not wait to see this. The film today is seen as a giant box office conqueror. Like, this film, if you were to talk to people that lived through it, they tell you, guaranteed, $800-900 million box office. It was huge. Everybody saw it. I saw it. My friends saw it. Therefore, everybody saw it, right? It's the old, what do you mean the Super Nintendo isn't the greatest selling console of all time? What do you mean it only sold like 50 million units? What do you mean it's actually one of the worst selling consoles of all time? I had it, and 2 kids in my school had it. Therefore, it was the best. Nostalgia and your perception changes reality. The original X-Men film was not a giant box office juggernaut like people make it out to be in revisionist history. And I'm not saying this to insult you or don't take it as a personal attack, because I love those first 3 X-Men films. Yes, even X3. But the fact of the matter is, X-Men 1 only made, in its worldwide run, $296 million. If that was to happen today, the entire internet would be calling it a dead franchise and a flop. X-Men 2 made 406. Great. And if we look at the bigger picture of the entire franchise, you are going to see something interesting. A lot of these films are not as big as some people perceive them to be. The core X-Men films outside of Days of Future Past are all largely $500 million or less. As a matter of fact, their average comes out around $350 million. So, again, it's not a guaranteed billion-dollar hit. So, we need to forget that. Which then brings me to X-Men in the MCU and why they're not a guaranteed big success or a billion-dollar hit. Okay, so now we're going to pick up with the second part of this video, and that's talking about the X-Men in the MCU. So obviously, people are going to bring up Deadpool and Wolverine, and they're going to bring up the box office of Deadpool to argue in the comments, and they're going to bring up Days of Future Past. But what do these films have in common? I ask of you, Deadpool and Wolverine and Days of Future Past are event films. They are essentially X-Men's version of Avengers. And the Deadpool thing was because Deadpool is a character that everybody knew at the time, and they loved them, so there you go. Remove all those factors, and the X-Men, again, average out to under $500 million per film, which, again, is not bad. We should expect that today. But there is a lot of analysts and predictions out there that are saying Marvel Studios' X-Men is a guaranteed billion-dollar hit. Can I just for a second rewind to when this was the same statement for Superman this year, and I kept saying, what are you guys looking at? Please show me these numbers, show me your tracking, show me your impressions. And not a single person could show me what, but they were all saying $1 billion. Guys, sometimes we have to take our fanboy nostalgia glasses, take them off, and just admit that sometimes what we want isn't a reality. Can we please do that? Can you please do that before you go off in the comments upset at me, calling me all sorts of names and whatever else? Please just do that for a second. Look at the facts I just presented to you on the screen. The X-Men are not a guaranteed billion-dollar hit. And if it's a straight-up reboot with no legacy characters, and it's a whole new cast, we need to set expectations accordingly. We need to have an expectation that is in line with the previous franchise, with the entire run of what they did with it. So that brings us to, unfortunately, what will make many of you people mad, reality slapping you in the face. And the reality of it is, X-Men might not hit $1 billion. It might even struggle to hit 750 million. And that's okay. So let me tell you why people are going to absolutely get upset. And they probably are upset. They quit this video. They didn't make it this far before I can even explain it, because that's how people go. The moment you get a new cast and it's a bunch of actors you've never heard of, and they cast somebody you've never heard of for Wolverine, the same way they cast Hugh Jackman, people will be upset. Not to mention that it's post-Secret Wars Marvel. And people will say, well, Marvel peaked with Secret Wars. They gave us everything. Why didn't they just take 3, 4, 5 years break and try again? That's not how business works. So they're going to be, again, stuck in the same place they were after Avengers Endgame. But this time, they will be attacked for being woke. There will be discourse online. Any casting choice they make will be controversial. Any race change, any casting of anybody part of the LGBTQ plus community will further divide the fan base. And the box office will be impacted by this. But another thing that will impact it is what I've been saying for years now. The new $1 billion hit is $600 million. People forget that making over $1 billion was unheard of. And then Avengers set the pace. And suddenly, we were in the prime time of Hollywood. 2012 to 2020 was literally blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster making bank. Even Mission Impossible made 3 times more than ever expected. And what happened after the pandemic? Mission Impossible, the first film back, Dead Reckoning, was a flop. The biggest flop in the franchise. What happened to Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning? The film didn't even make $600 million in its worldwide box office, considered, again, a flop because it didn't make back its budget and marketing. Expectations need to be set accordingly. And I love the last 2 Mission Impossibles. Don't take this as an insult. But there are expectations that need to be reset. Marvel Studios will hit it big with X-Men. But they don't need to save the Marvel Studios, because that's not the point. The point will be a reset where they build up the brand and establish a baseline, and then they make money with each subsequent sequel. The same principle and approach that James Gunn is using with Superman. The key is sequels, good reception, and selling action figures. And that's what will make it a success. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will. And if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.